Welcome everybody to Grave Robber, Episode 1, Blue and White, made by Detective, at least on the forums that I visit. And this is a point-and-click visual novel sort of game, but filled with puzzles and awesome art, and I don't know, it's a great game, and I'm really privileged to share it with you guys. So, let's start. Holy crap, my frame rate is jumping from 4 to like 900. Once upon a night in Seattle, I was robbing a grave. That's sort of what I do. Yay! Sasha. So, about my career choice. It's really not that bad. It's a slow-paced job with all the benefits a career in the illegal market can get you. An aversion to signing any papers with a real name, making sure to avoid staying in one city for too long, and a hot sum of money if you hit the right spot and dig the right grave. None of that messy customer service noise. That right there, that's the real bonus. And, at the end of the night, it pays the bills, and then some. Sometimes, yeah, you turn up with nil, nada. Shiny shit so cheap that pawnbroker won't even give you $1 for your turnout. So I keep them, because someone's gotta. Or, well, they don't. But I like to consider myself a collector, quote-unquote. In short, anything dug up and shiny that can't earn me a pretty penny, I keep. You don't expect me to be a gentleman, redig the grave and put back what was there with a sorry about that on a post-it note, do you? So in the end, I've got a lot of useless shiny little things sitting around my apartment. My current apartment, anyway, for the next few months. Like I said, rule numero uno of grave robbing. Always be on the move. Much as I love my job and the freedom it grants me, it's always good to have some sort of code for what you do. Because more than anything, you want to keep doing it when it's the thing that pays the bills and gives you a good time. Never was a people person. They're a lot easier to deal with when they're dead, in any case. Never was a fast-paced, loving, insert your personal favorite generic monster.com job description kind of guy. I'm 25 years old, and 25 levels of avoiding the hardships of adulthood, and 100% alright with that. If I wasn't doing what I'm doing, I'm pretty sure I'd die of the monotony of whatever the hell place I'd wound up in. End up in a grave out of the sheer power of boredom faster than I can dig one up. And here's the thing, I'm good at what I do. I've always been good at what I do. Not that what I do has always been grave robbing, but when I do something, I'm always the best. Make sure of it. Believe it! Fact, I'm so good, I've got a smart-ass detective on my trail, and a name in the papers that call me by the catchy, sleek alias of Crypt Crucifer. Crucifier? Maybe. Kidding about the catchy, sleek part. Are these journalists actually getting paid to write at the level of 10-year-olds with die-hard kinks for bad headline titles? I hope not. Am I maybe just a little giddy at being the nation's only grave robber with a household name? Maybe just a little. So about that night. To be more specific, that night was this night. It happened a couple hours ago. A ghost got me. No, really. There I was, with a watch snatched from a casket. I marauded fast as a fox, and turned around and BAM! Or whoosh, or whatever sound effect works best for the sudden appearance of a damn phantom. Boo. But I lived. Lived and jolted the hell out of the cemetery like the lightning the rain outside was missing. Now here I am. I'd have a drink, but I'm trying to go without for 2 months this time around. I bake an exception, but I've done that enough times to know where that goes. Hot chocolate suits the cold better than beer does anyway, doesn't it? At least that's what I'm gonna opt to tell myself. And then there's this door. Locked with no goddamn explanation. Unless you count karma, and I will. Something only the sweet taste of hot chocolate is gonna soothe after I get out. Hot chocolate it is. Time to make a cup of the hot stuff. After, I figure out a workaround for getting out of my own bathroom. What do we have with us? Squat. Try to turn it on as I might, it looks like the bulb is busted. Good job. A hamper. For those rare moments when you're not feeling too lazy to throw your clothes in one. Me, I like to keep a select few choice shirts, jackets, and jeans. So I guess messiness has never been much of a problem. Still locked? Yeah, try as I might, this knob isn't budging. Which, hell, makes no sense since the thing locks from the inside, and here I am, locked unturned. Wait, what? And here I am in here, locked, unturned. Okay. Well, it's probably safe to assume standing around questioning it isn't going to make the thing miraculously unlock. But hey, if I can raid a tomb, I can pick a lock. Pretty sure I can anyway. I just need something of a small and thin variety to use. Wait, what doorknob? There's no doorknob there. What the hell? Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to pass up taking 2 showers in a row. Looks like a nice shower. I'd say I was going for a minimalist look when I chose this face out, but truth is, I've just been too damn lazy to spruce this place up much more than it is. That's a vase, looks more like a spittoon. Seattle weather, and a view I can't complain about. See? Grave robbing has its perks, and a swanky hidey hole with an even swankier view is one of them. My trusty towel, wet after a long hot soak. Grave robbing does that to you. Incites the need for a movie-length shower, I mean. I think it's the dead bodies, or dirt, or both. Looking pretty decent, if tired, as per usual. Not that looking presentable is a requirement in my line of work. Wonder if I could find anything in here to MacGyver that lock with. Anything will do, I'm pretty sure. A pin would be a goddamn godsend. Let's see. Oh, looky, and speak of the devil, a hairpin should do the job. Not that I recall ever sticking these things in my hair, but maybe I should from now on. Keep a few handy while setting new fashion trends. We now have a hairpin. Not much else here of any use. Okay. After a little lockpicking, looks like I can finally open the damn thing. Huh. Looks like the lights out here are just as busted as the one in the bathroom. I point my finger at the weather, but it looks like all the other buildings outside are bathing in the good stuff that is electricity. Then there's the fact that I'm not all too keen on paying any bills on time. Less lack of money and more sheer procrastination, that. But I've only been here, what, not even a full month. Fuse box should do the trick then, I guess. Now where is it? Ah, there it is. Now to switch the flippy thingy up and to... Holy. Hello, Sasha, is it? Holy heckin' hell. I'd say that it's an inconsiderate way to greet the dead, but it's about the amount of eloquence I'd expect from a grave-robbing delinquent. And I'd say, do I know you? But if my eyes are correct, and they're pretty damn good eyes, you're that ghost from earlier. Of course. You could call me Ellery, but in all levels of importance, it probably doesn't matter that much. I'm just here to pick something up. That's so. Well, good luck to you then. Because, I hate to break it to you, but you're gonna have sort of a hard time with that. I meant it metaphorically. But thank you for putting my non-physical state into as clear a view as possible for us. I wasn't already aware enough that I'm a glowing mass of transparent, untouchable death. Reminders are always appreciated. Fantastic. We'll be sure to keep it up in that case. You know, you don't seem the most fazed by my presence here. Well, I wouldn't say I'm sitting comfy with a death-by-sword-to-the-neck phantom asshole floating around in my living room. But what can I say? Snark just comes naturally for me. It's how I cope. Even more reason for me to get back to what I need and be on my way then. Alright. Is it safe to assume you're talking about that beauty of a shiny gold watch? It is safe to assume that. And since I can't physically bring it back myself, that we've already scrutinized thanks to your anything-but-tact observation, you'll escort me back to my unearthly home and put it back yourself. Haha, that's funny. See, just for a second there, it sounded like you thought that'd be something I'd be remotely interested in doing. I think you'll be more than interested to do it if persuasion becomes a necessary element, yes. So what? If I don't comply, you'll go exorcist on me? Nothing that dramatic. But while I'm not keen on violence, you don't want to see what happens to dead souls who do too much of that. I'm confident in my ability to make your life miserable. Aha, so my apartment lacks electricity a la Ghost Tricks, courtesy of you. If Ghost Tricks is what you want to call it, yes. Interesting. But if your otherworldly skills are so smooth, why not just take the watch back yourself? Bet my flesh and blood powers couldn't stop you. To gloss over a good number of aspects of being dead, there are still limits to what you can do. Huh, interesting. Well, it's possible to move physical objects. Doing so is limited to objects that don't hold any significance in one's living life. To be honest, it'd solve a lot of dead people's problems if that weren't the case. Nothing meaningful, nothing special, nothing sentimental. And that watch, let me assure you, is quite sentimental. I think I getcha. And as far as being educated on the lifestyle of ghosts, let me tell you, I think I could write a book at this point. If it's another sarcastic retort you're whinging for... Oh, he's British then. Alright. English, excuse me. I don't quite have the energy in me at the moment. All the time. Oh, well, I suppose I do have the time, and quite the surplus of it, but not the patience. Give it a week until you get bored. You don't seem to understand, and the level of tenacity I have towards getting my watch back, or the significance of the thing. So tell me why it's worth tracking an innocent grave robber home and nagging him for it. Pointing out my lack of patience again, I'll decline. It's fine. I'm sure enough it wouldn't be convinced to hand it over. No matter how big a sob story it is. Wouldn't be much of a cemetery thief if I had sympathy for the dead, or a moral conscience. You don't seem to be too keen in the way of either, no. Can't argue with that. I can see your stubbornness is going to override your sense of reasoning. So I'll just have to keep my promise of making your life as inconvenient as possible, and we'll see how long that stubbornness lasts. My bet's still that you give up in a week's time. Treat you to an ice cream sundae if you win. Very funny. I know, right? Just looking at you and I can tell I'm killing you with these jokes. And if you keep up with those puns, you might just very win that bet of yours. Dun dun dun! Ooh. I suppose you're curious about that. Just a little. I can see it's preventing me from opening that door. Correct. You aren't familiar with Ghoulian, are you? Oh, that. Not really. I've only read about it in passing, I guess. It's what, some kind of ghost language? That's about the gist of it, yes. Written and projected by the mind on a ghost's object of choice, and used for just about any purpose you can think of, stealing, hiding, and so on. Really now, so in addition to being a recurring cast member of Casper, you're also a certified wizard. Moving on. This is a Ghoulian block. It's a form of cryptology, if you will, and before you comment, the play on words is unavoidable. I want to say that I have full confidence someone of your cunning can solve it easily, but I don't. Aw, man, that stings. But hey, I'll bite. Not that I've got much of a choice. Let's see how right or wrong you are about that. Alrighty. Well, you can pretty much surmise what we're supposed to do here. S. E. A. L. suave and thuggish? Come on now. You're not as much of a thuggish idiot as your outward appearance suggests, I suppose. Was that a vote of confidence? Only a display of mild surprise. That's fine, though. I hope you don't expect the future Goulian blocks to be this simple. Got more in store, that it? Well, I wouldn't mind sending your lack of confidence in me into shock a second time, or a third. Now, though, I think I'll be heading out into the city. Being involuntarily locked in your apartment does that to you, apparently. I can't do Joe Friday's voice. How am I supposed to do this? I don't have a big range. Detective Copper. The knight's as dead as the company in these graves. But I know who's been here. Crypt Crucifier, you leave too many accidental clues behind and not enough mystery to throw a sleuth off. Not a good one, anyway. Not me. If you weren't so much of a sap for those real specific German SIGs, you'd leave a little less of a trail than you sniff out. Still, it wouldn't be impossible to find you, but harder. I tried things myself. Tried them when I was trying to be you. Walked around a grave you robbed in the same pattern the footprints showed up in the dirt, with a stick in my mouth. The thing tasted like oil and sand. Maybe when you leave the smoke lying around, you think it's funny, though. Maybe you're doing it on purpose. With you, my impression's always been torn between a bragging narcissist and a stinging idiot. But if you're just a fool, I would have caught you by now. You didn't pick the most well-preserved venue of illegal activity, criminal psychology-wise, did you? Well, researched. Maybe that's a little bit of what makes you hard to guess. That doesn't matter. In the end, I always solve the puzzle. In the end, I always do. Well, the night's free. Let's see what I can't do about this ghost problem. The pink sausage? Oh. Barnaby. Look at what the rainy night dragged in. Only my most favorite, monetarily generous regular. Huh, real sweet. Not sure if that's a title I'm supposed to feel good about wearing, though. I think I prefer when you just opt for calling me your best friend. Oh, no. Oh. No, it wasn't meant to be a compliment. Just know that your company's always appreciated around here. Can't imagine why. I just told you, didn't I? Pretty brashly, yeah. Well, if it'll lighten you up here, take one on the house. Tempting, I'll be honest, but believe it or not, I didn't come here for a drink. If you're not in a drinking mood, hell, what am I saying? When aren't you? Drink up. If you don't, I'm sure somebody else would be happy to take it off your hands. Barnes, listen, I've got a problem. And you're implying it's not alcohol-related. Yep, might be easier to deal with if it were. Then again, maybe not. I don't really know where to start, but you're the only guy in the city, hell, any city I can talk to like this, about this. Alright enough, don't lay on the sap too hard. What's eating you? That's more like what's haunting me if you want to jump right into it. Past finally catching up to you, or is that a detective what's-his-name? Neither, thankfully. Look, what's your opinion on ghosts? Ghosts, hovering, ghastly leftovers from a person's physical life. Met a few, actually. Weren't the most bad-mannered of otherworldly beings, to be honest. Might have hit it off if they didn't creep me out so much I'd opted for the exorcism route. You're being serious. I'm being the best bartender I can be. I give people pretty lies, quiet agreements, and their favorite vices in a shot glass with ice on top. Ah. But now, yeah, I'm being serious. I've had my share of run-ins. Wow, guess I wasn't expecting that. That's me, surprises all around. Mostly because you're a fan of leaving all things personal hidden. And that's a fact. So, I take it you're having your own little afterlife run-in. That about sums it up. I'm being haunted, followed, and otherwise stalked by a guy who lives in a coffin. Is he a nice one, at least? About as nice as a pompous, mouthy brat can be. I'm still here, you know. Joy, the guy with you right now? Standing right next to me, as he just made known. That's a good thing. If he can only project his image to one person at a time, it means he's at least not a poltergeist level of phantom. Fascinating. Thing is, I'm not too interested in specifics and facts and whatnot. I just want to know how to get rid of him. Hats off to your sincerest efforts then, and good luck. Nice to hear you have faith in me. Oh, right. On the downside, anytime you're in public and talking to him, it'll look like I'm batshit mad and talking to myself, of course. Great, noted. Anyway, advice would be nice right about now. It's actually easier than you'd think. Do you have his name? Ellery. And last? Nope, guy didn't give it to me, and I'm guessing he won't do it now if just to make my life a little bit harder. Well, the place to start is whatever graveyard his tomb's located in then. If it's one of those really old ones, then there's this chalk trick. Get a sheet of paper and some chalk or charcoal or something similar, put the paper over the grave and rub the charcoal over it. The name should show up on the paper if it's too hard to read on the stone. And when I have his full name, that's when it gets a little bit trickier and a little more reliant on luck. In short, you need to find out his cause of death. I'd start with looking up obituary records. I know the downtown library has that sort of thing. And how will I find that out, if I even can? Help me expel this bastard. Yeah. There's a simple enough exorcism, involves a lot of pretty Latin words, including a translated verse or two of the ghost in question's cause of death. The exorcism and Latin and all that stuff, I'll volunteer to do myself when I get off work, because I'm nice like that. I know there's a catch in there somewhere. Wouldn't I tell you if there were? Nope. You know me too well then. Anyway, it sounds simple enough. Find his name, find his cause of death, perform an exorcism courtesy of you. You got it. I owe you. Free ghost tips and a shot of your favorite whiskey? You owe me more than just one. Huh, see you around. I'll be here all night, Sasha. Still got that hairpin, okay. Let's go to Krusty's store. Howdy, and welcome to Krusty's store. Heya. So I'm looking for something kind of specific, kind of in a hurry. And what's that? Paper and charcoal. Chalk works too. Let's see. Paper and charcoal, chalk optional. We should have something like that, right down the craft style. Wait here and I'll see what my detective ass can find us. Appreciate it. Alrighty. We have your choice of either rainbow chalk or black charcoal. I'm not much of a colors guy. I'll take the charcoal, please. Charcoal it is, and here's the paper. Comes to a total of $3.88. Here you go. Fill us your lifesaver, and I might even mean that literally. All a day's work, or nights, rather. Have fun with your arts and crafts project, mister. We'll try. Hey there, just let me know if you need anything. Sure thing, thanks. Alright. Ham Crotch Cemetery? Pink sausage and ham crotch. Okay. Huh. Hideous neon green lights. Or light. What's it's wrapped around the iron bars that weren't there before? Let me guess. Or I'll just tell you. Yes, that's another Googly block. Fantastic. I was really missing the time I got to spend with the last one. Hope this one isn't as quick to be solved as the last one. You know, no offense or anything to that massive, pompous ego of yours. You sound confident, irritatingly so. Why not just find out yourself? Well, first-hand experience is the best teacher, after all. Oh boy. Okay. Iron Gate. That's not right. Iron Gate. Repair? Repair what? Iron Gate. Repair. State? Well, what do you know? Surprising me with your uncanny, unrepenting Stream of luck. Hey, call my knack for puzzle solving whatever suits your fancy, Casper. Contemporary historical. What's this way? Mirabelle Bree. Now her spirit does rest by the sounding sea. Huh, sounds strangely familiar, but I can't place it. Anywho, moving on with the night. Here lies Ogdred Weary. Bright as his soul, his life was far from dreary. Huh, the guy must have liked poems. Me? I like to read, but you can keep that fancy smancy stuff away from me with a 20.5-foot long pole, thanks. That's a lot of graves off in the distance. But you know how it goes, death never takes a break. Oh, I've met Death. He's quite a bit more leisurely about his work than you'd think. Then why didn't he bother taking you down the Styx with him? Or was it just too much of a toll on his mental state for him to endure a whole boat ride with you? Because I understand that. Charming. I'd try. But no, I told him I wasn't particularly interested in leaving. I don't take kindly to change, let's leave it at that. It took a bit of convincing, but even when you're death, the spirit gets the last word. See, now I'm pretty sure you're just pulling my leg. I might be, who really knows? Of course, you could, right now, if you wanted to. With what? A gun to the side of my head, or a noose around my neck? Take your pick, there's an endless number of choices. I'll pass. That's one big sliver of a crescent moon. I think I heard once upon a time about the symbolism of crescent moons. What was it again? They're supposed to represent endings, banishings, that sort of thing. Let's throw in some hope that this one's directed at my little ghost problem. If your plan is to rely on flights of symbolic fantasy to get rid of me, Sasha, I believe I'll be spending more time with you than either of us thought. Excuse me for thinking out loud, princess. Yada 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 yada. Stop talking. Oh my god, shut up! Nothing about the lights of a city at night that's not to love. Didn't realize just how far out on the outskirts of the urban jungle the cemetery was until looking at it from here. All the better for pillaging. Ellery something or other. Yuppers, this is the tomb in question. Only it's so goddamn dark I can't see what I'm doing. Let's see if I can't find something around here to light up the situation before I try and copy the name down, eh? What do we have? Nothing. Let's go back to Krusty's store. Or not. What have we got here? A gold mine of paraphernalia I don't need. Is what? Fascinating. The city at night. Starting to become more familiar with the sight of it than my own mug. Mostly bare desk with a stack of home and garden magazines on it. I think I'll have to pass on renovating my place tonight, though. Okay. Not that there was much in here to begin with, but it'd be nice to have the option to refrigerate food. Yep, Danny Phantom over there wasn't kidding. This light's just as busted as the others. I'm not much of a reader of fictional stuff anymore, but it's always good to keep a few reference books on hand. I teach myself something new every day. That's what my dad used to say, even when he was better than everyone else in his field. I try to temporarily put aside our vast differences and do the same. Speaking of the old dead man, one of these is written by the guy himself. The Secret Life of Cemeteries. I still can't figure out if the play on words is intentional or not. Knowing him, it probably isn't. Nothing like a well-deserved nap on my beloved futon after a long night of illegal activities. Okay. Another rule of sneaking around cemeteries at night. Always stay out of the light. Then again, I guess that's more common sense than anything. big thing looks like it's been here a hell of a while. Wouldn't be opposed to taking a nice long well-deserved nap under its shade after this whole fiasco is sorted out. Rule 1 of grave robbing. Or wait, was it 6? Once you're in the cemetery, avoid the light. Loitering around in that stuff's the fastest way to get caught. And any other place that closes after dark, for that matter. Just a really good, really obvious piece of common sense to follow. So where are we going to get light? Or a mirror, maybe, to reflect the moon's light?